G'day humans, Chris Stead from Finder here. Today I'm talking about the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3 earbuds, which you can see just behind me here. Now there's no shortage of earbuds coming out in Australia at the moment, but is there a place for the Momentum True Wireless 3? Finder was lucky enough to get early access to this piece of 2022 tech, and it landed in the hands of award-winning journalist and Finder's global reviews editor, Tegan Jones. Now, she's written a full review, which you can read on the finder.com.au website, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But I thought I'd jump on a quick call with her just to get the skinny on what these earbuds are all about and whether or not they are good for you. So let's dive in. Tegan, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited about it.
So is it just me or is it just heaps of wireless earbuds coming out at the moment?
So many. I think over the last year to 18 months, there's been this real boom in this particular category of earbuds and headphones. Before, it was really difficult to find any that weren't super expensive. So you had your Sennheisers, you had your Sonys, but now you're seeing even cheaper ones that are still quite good coming in from the likes of Jabra and Skullcandy. There's a lot out there.
Yeah, I've been using LG Tones, which I've been quite impressed with as well.
Mm-hmm.
So where do the Momentum True Wireless 3s fit in then?
Certainly in that more upper scale when it comes to the True Wireless earbuds. When you think of premium earbuds, especially wireless ones, usually Sony and Sennheiser come to mind. But it is coming in about $100 cheaper than what the Sony WF 1000 XM4s were released at last year. So I think that was a really smart move. Now, you might be able to find them for a little bit cheaper than the $400 asking price, but it's still up there.
Yeah, like $400, that's definitely, I'd say, premium range, yeah?
Definitely. I mean, Sony's usually come in at about $500, so that's like extremely expensive, but the quality's there, and the same is there for the Sennheisers. They're great buds.
So what features then justify this price?
Yeah, so I mean, you get incredible sound, of course. I would put them not quite as good as the Sonys, but they really are up there. I found that you don't get that dampening that you get with a lot of earbuds. Like each individual instrument, you're going to be hearing it. The vocals are really beautiful. There's like lovely layering. It's something that you could not really envision to get from earbuds even just 3 or 4 years ago. So that's incredible. The battery life is okay. It is the same as the previous generation, so I would have liked to have seen a little bit more there. But what really does stand out for me are two things. Number one, they're incredibly comfortable. I can wear them for hours on end, whether I'm stationary or exercising or on a commute, and they're really comfortable, more so than the Sony XM4s, in my opinion. But where these really stand out is the active noise cancellation. While the Sonys are great in this area and probably just a smidgen behind, I do think that the Sennheisers, once again, really do reign supreme here. And I said the same for the previous generation. You get incredible noise cancellation. You also have transparency mode if that's something that you're after. And now there is a new feature called sound zones, where based on your location, you can set up different audio settings for that spot. So let's say, for example, I'm at the office, I'm trying to concentrate and I have full active noise cancellation on. Then I leave the office, it knows that I've left the office, and maybe it puts it into transparency mode or whatever I want it to. So I'm a little bit more aware of my surroundings on the commute home.
Right, absolutely. And 7 hours, that seems like a little bit on the low side to me.
It really depends. So it's 7 hours, but with active noise cancellation toggled on, you're going to get more like 4 or 4.5. So that's why I said that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more here, especially because you do see cheaper buds that can go even further than that. But what you need to keep in mind here as well is that those cheaper buds have a lot less features a lot of the time. They're not doing as much heavy lifting. They don't have a processor that's doing as hard a work as these are. So you do need to expect Sonys and Sennheisers to usually suffer a little bit on the battery side because of how powerful they are.
I'm assuming in the case there's some charging though.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do get an extra 3, I think it's 3 charges. I mean, it depends like when you're charging them, but in general, you should be getting 28 hours of charge from that case before you have to juice it up again. Yeah. But that's the same as the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2 as well. So again, they didn't change it.
There's a lot of commuting in 28 hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. So, I mean, I'm definitely nitpicking, but that's my job.
So that's what you've kind of told us a fair bit about what you do like about them. Is there anything that you don't, where you think it's really failing? Obviously, you mentioned that the battery hasn't upgraded much on previous gen, but anything else that buyers should be aware of?
I think at $400, I was hoping that it would be a little bit more than an incremental upgrade. While the sound is absolutely incredible, when I was doing a side-by-side test with the previous generation, I really couldn't tell that much of a difference. If anything, I think that the previous generation was probably a little bit brighter, whereas the newer ones are maybe slightly more clear, but you can also customize that through the app and mess with the EQ to get your exact preferences. But I think side by side, they were just so incredibly similar. And it's tough because it's not really a sledge on the new ones. It's because the previous generation, which came out nearly 2 years ago, were already so good. So I think that when you already had something that was high quality, it's really hard to improve upon.
And you mentioned before how comfortable they are. But if you're moving, say jogging or something like that, are they going to stay in there?
Yeah, and that's why it's really useful that they have multiple ear tip options as well. I would not use them above, say, something like the Skull Candy Push Active or the Beats, the Power Beats Pro. I love both of these for exercise because they have those really dorky ear hooks, which look, it looks like you're going to get beat up at the gym for wearing them, but they're so comfortable and you know they're going to stay in there. But me personally, using these over the past 3 weeks, I had no problem with them at the gym or going for walks or anything like that. So as long as you're getting that right ear tip, it should be okay. And they do have sweat and water resistance as well. So while you don't want to go swimming with them, they're okay for sweat and general exercise.
Yeah, I noticed on your written review that you gave these a 4.5 stars out of 5, which is obviously very good. But is there a particular type of consumer that you're recommending these to?
If you love sound quality and you've got the capital to back it up, I would say that if you've got that money to spend, then absolutely, I think they're worth it. I'm usually very critical of really expensive tech, and this is no different. But I think that when it comes to the likes of the Sonys and the Sennheisers in this space, like in the audio space in general, you are outsetting a fair amount of money, but you are getting a really future-proof product. So you won't have to replace them for a few years, God willing. So I'd say that if you're in that premium market, or if you're someone that likes to do a lot of research and buy something to last, then this is who these are for. That being said, if you do want a really good experience at a cheaper price point, like I said, these are an incremental upgrade. And I still firmly believe that the previous generation, the True Wireless 2 or the Momentum True Wireless 2, were so good that they're still worth getting today.
And hopefully a bit cheaper now.
Oh, absolutely. I think now's the time, really. As soon as they hit the market, you'll probably see the price come down on that previous generation.
Now, finally, I do know that you've done a best wireless earbuds guide on the Fine.com website. Did these make the cut?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually updating it as we speak, or at least before we spoke. So it's actually directly replacing the previous generation in the best for noise cancellation category. Again, Sony was a really close second here. I think that if you're going for either of these, you're going to get a great outcome when it comes to noise cancellation, but these just beat out and took the top spot in that category.
Unreal. Thanks very much, Tegan. Look, I'll put a link to your review and also to your best guide down in the description below. Many thanks for giving us some time to take us through the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3. Gee, that is a long name, isn't it?
It takes so long to say. I trip over it every time and trying to type it. Oh, my God.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure you check out the other videos. And until next time, see you later.